Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of the Saints Coach's Corner. My name is Scott Jamison. I'm here with Santa Fe Fastpitch coach Chris Ahern. Coach, thank you for being with us today. We're going to discuss all things Santa Fe Fastpitch. Of course, the Saints right now 26 and 19, and 13-5 in the Mid-Florida Conference, sitting on top of the standings. Had some games against the College of Central Florida yesterday in Ocala. That has turned into quite the rivalry. Saints took 3 of 4 this season against College of Central Florida, who is ranked number 19 in the country. So, Coach got out of there with a split yesterday, sitting about where you want to be at this time of the season, I would imagine. First place in the conference with just about 8 games to go.
Yes, we are, and we do have a pretty hard road ahead of us, Scott. We have some tough games to go. Of course, Central Florida has been a really tough competitor pretty much always, but this season in particular, they've stepped up big time, giving us some good games. So yesterday's games, it was important for us to at least take one to stay on top. We gave up the first one, and I think we could have done a little bit better job out there, but we do have those 8 games that we need to finish up and hopefully finish strong.
And of course, as you mentioned, dropped the first one 4-1. Played well, just kind of didn't have some bounces go your way. Second game, though, sometimes that's the one. You drop that first one. Sometimes you can get your head down, and of course, you're sophomore heavy, and I guess the veteran leadership there stepped up, and you were able to get a 2-0 victory. Amber Maxey went into the circle and got you that shutdown win that you needed.
She sure did, and we actually even got in trouble at one moment in time. We had the bases loaded. And, at that moment you think to yourself, well, should I change it up, bring another pitcher in, or leave the ball in the hands of the sophomore who has gotten us out of problems over the course of 2 years' time? So we opted to let her keep the ball and go for it, and she got the biggest hitter on their team to actually pop up to center field. So that was a good escape right there, and that helped us a lot.
And, of course, speaking of pitching, there was a point in the season a couple weeks ago where your pitchers threw 5 consecutive shutouts. So that's been a big part of the success this season. And Maddie Perez and Amber Maxey and Ashley Chapman and Ashley Ray, the list goes on of the arms that you are able to bring out there and roll out there on a game-by-game basis.
Yeah, and they actually all throw differently, so it's not like we have 3 that throw the same thing, and they're different looks, different speeds, different pitches even in some cases. And so they've done a really good job trying to keep the offensive lineup for the other teams off balance. Maddie and Amber have been the 2 consistent pitchers, but the other ones certainly have done their job when we've asked them to.
Of course, some big games coming up tomorrow, right back after it. Going to stay on the road. Going to be in Sanford against Seminole State College. A couple games there at 1 o'clock tomorrow, and then on the road Tuesday at Lake Sumter in Leesburg for a couple games there against the Lake Hawks. So 4 straight road games, big part of the season. You only have a 1-game lead on the College of Central Florida, so at this point, every game's important.
Absolutely. The goal would obviously be to win all of them all the way out. We can only afford to lose one if we want to at least stay in the top and tie for the championship. But, the kids have talked about it, and I think that they are in the mindset that they want to try to win all the games ahead of us. And I'm hoping they can do that. If they stay focused, they have the ability. They just have to put it together at the right time.
And the Saints have clinched a spot in the state tournament. Of course, 5 teams out of 7 go to the state tournament. There are 2 berths to the national tournament at the state, one of which the Saints were able to clinch last year, winning the Atlantic District. So, sometimes maybe you clinch a state tournament spot and you get complacent. But I know with you, your goal is to win the conference every single season. So as you just mentioned, the players want to continue winning. It's not good enough just to be in the state tournament. So you've clinched, a lot left to go.
There is a lot of softball ahead of us, and these are the important games, as you said, Scott. As we come down the last stretch right here, it's important that they get their practice time in, but they have to have some rest time as well, so that we go fresh at the end of the season. After we finish our conference games, we're going to have a few days off before we come back and play 4 at home, right before the state tournament, so they'll hopefully get back into a competitive nature and have a little bit of rest and a little bit of competition before we go on the road again.
And that state tournament will be at the first weekend in May in Pensacola. And not getting too ahead of ourselves, the next home game, if you'd like to come out and see the Saints, Thursday, April 17th against Daytona State College at 2:30. The games are free to attend, so come on out to the field, check out the Saints. Again, they'll be on the road for the next couple games. Back home Thursday, and they'll wrap up the rest of their schedule at home. Those games against Daytona are the final games, conference games of the season, and then they'll take on Chipola College and Hillsborough College. Thank you, Coach, for being with us.
Thank you, Scott.
Appreciate it. Another edition of the Saints Coach's Corner, and we will see you next time.
Go Saints.